that both have been doing.
Amid the economic crisis in Pakistan, the
repeatedly talked about China's debt trap. Pakistan, it seems, has embraced the Chinese debt trap.
In Pakistan, say flash floods across much of the.
According to reports, Pakistan's finance minister Ishaq Dhar met a U.S. delegation.
Killed over 1,000 people and displaced thousands more.
Imran Khan, the former Prime Minister of Pakistan, has warned the country could face an economic collapse,
which include increasing the prices of natural gas and electricity.
The only way Pakistan could get economic stability is through free and fair elections.
Hi everybody, Pakistan is going through one of the worst economic crises since independence. And it's not something new that Pakistan is going through this situation. The situation is so bad that Pakistanis are fighting each other for food grains. The Russia-Ukraine war has already rose up the prices of food grains and fuel cost. If you look at the data, the prices of petrol in Pakistan skyrocketed from 140 rupees per litre to 256 rupees per litre in just 20 days. If you look at history, then after partition, Pakistan had all the advantages of the world over India. Number one, they don't have enough diversity to deal with. Number two, their per capita GDP was also very high. And lastly, if you look at the geography, then Pakistan had some of the most fertile land which were earlier part of the Punjab. And even after so many advantages, Pakistan is going through one of the worst economic crises since independence and today also. And on the other hand, India is trying to become a global leader with $3 trillion economy. So in today's episode, I am gonna decode Pakistan economic crisis. What is wrong with Pakistan that they are in huge trouble, and how Pakistan government fooled its citizen by providing subsidies to its country. And lastly, what are the lessons that we as an Indian can learn from this case study of Pakistan economic crisis? First and foremost, one of the biggest reasons due to which Pakistan is going through this economic crisis is their political instability. If you see guys, India and Pakistan were united, and after partition during 1947, Pakistan became the largest Muslim state in the whole world at that time. And nearly 17 million people have moved between India and Pakistan as per the reports. And one thing that you will notice is that India remained its democratic government since independence. But on the other hand, in Pakistan, there have been 23 Prime Ministers, and none of the Prime Ministers have completed its 5-year term. Now the question is, why is it so? So it is because again and again, whenever a leader is elected, the military have ousted the Prime Minister and took control of the country. And the country is swinging between the military rule and the democratic rule. If you take a look back in history, you will notice that all the politicians of Pakistan were corrupt, and they were only interested in securing their power and interest of the elite. And whenever a new leader is elected and who comes in power, they first try to rectify the mistakes committed by the previous leader, and by the time they start acting on their policy, they are overthrown by a military coup. This is happening from past 70 years in Pakistan. And if you look at the timeline, then in 1958, General Ayub Khan did it, then in 1977, General Zia-ul-Haq did it, and then in 1999, General Pervez Musharraf did it. And when this type of political instability exists in any country, then there are 3 drawbacks that kick for any country. Political instability is directly related to globalization. If you see guys, even if the country have the valuable assets like the cheap labor, skilled workforce and easy access to raw material, and suppose that if the today's democratically elected government is levying 10 to 12% tax on the multinational corporation who has set up its unit in Pakistan, and suddenly if tomorrow a military rule comes in, the dictator might charge 50% tax and also put tax barriers. And due to this reason, foreign investors don't want to invest in Pakistan. Secondly, if you look at Pakistan guys, none of the Prime Minister have completed its 5-year term. And what is more astounding is that 2 of the former Prime Ministers have been assassinated also, and former Prime Minister Imran Khan have been shot up during a political rally. But fortunately, he survived this bullet shot. What I mean here is that more the political instability, more will be the crime in that country. And lastly, you all guys know that Pakistan have tried many a times to go head on head with India and try to bash India by criticizing or by spending billions of dollars on their resources by taking war loans. And eventually, this lead to debt trap.
हिंदुस्तान ने अपनी तबाही कर ली. आज हिंदुस्तान के अंदर हालात देखें, गुर्बत देखें, उनकी माइशत का हाल देखें, वो किधर थी, पाकिस्तान किधर था. आज अल्लाह का शुक्र है पाकिस्तान किधर है और हिंदुस्तान की तबाही कितनी हुई।
If you observe the above mentioned points by me, you will notice that all the politicians of Pakistan were corrupt and they were just interested in making money for themselves. And due to this, the corruption grew many folds. And this brings me to the second reason behind the economic crisis in Pakistan, and that is Imran Khan's subsidy policy on petrol and diesel. If you guys see, the economic crisis in Pakistan has promoted the acute shortage of food, medicines and even petrol and diesel prices. Russia's invasion to Ukraine has also led to hike in petrol and diesel prices. And as I have told you earlier that all the politicians of Pakistan are corrupt and they just try to make money for themselves and securing the interest of the elite, what former Prime Minister Imran Khan did was quite amusing. He gave heavy subsidies on petrol and diesel prices and announced a $1.5 billion subsidy on fuel prices without seeking approval from International Monetary Fund or IMF. To give you the data, Pakistan government was giving subsidy to its citizen rupees 19 per litre on petrol, rupees 53 per litre on diesel and rupees 5 per unit on electricity. And the reason is to curb inflation so that the people of Pakistan will vote Imran Khan again and the government of Imran Khan will again remain in power. But guess what? Instead of boosting the economy, it made Pakistan economy even worse. And a no confidence motion was made and Imran Khan was overthrown by Shehbaz Sharif. And due to this action of providing subsidy to the common people, made the government lose billions of dollars. And when Pakistan government approached IMF for funding, IMF told them to cut down on the subsidies that they are giving to the common man. And guess what? Pakistan government did the same thing what IMF told them to do. And then the prices of the fuel skyrocketed. And this brings me to the third reason behind the Pakistan economic crisis, and that is China's debt trap. Pakistan took up a loan from China to build Gwadar port. Why? To expand international trade. And since Pakistan don't have enough money to build Gwadar port, they took up $1 billion of loan from China. And guess what happened next? China agreed for the loan. Why? Because China very well know that, like Sri Lanka and other 40 countries which are under the China's debt trap, Pakistan will also not be able to repay the loan. Now the question comes here is that, what is the master plan strategy behind the China's debt trap and how does this system work? First and first, Pakistan and other 40 weak economic countries could not take a loan from World Bank because then the Pakistan need to act upon what the World Bank tell them to do, which ultimately leads to change in the policy that the government come up with, like we saw in the case of Imran Khan on the subsidy policy. So China's role come into play and it gave exorbitant amount of loan to Pakistan. And this exorbitant amount of money is not millions of dollars. It is billions of dollars of loan to Pakistan to build up the Gwadar port and other developmental projects. Step number 2, China put some condition before Pakistan to access that loan. And these conditions are, firstly, Pakistan need to give this project to a Chinese company and sometimes these Chinese company charge very high much price for the completion of that project. And if you think practically, you will notice that the amount of money that is going from China to Pakistan is going back to Pakistan to China in the form of developmental projects. And this will ultimately increase the GDP of China and sends Pakistan into a debt trap. Because for the completion of that project, Pakistan will seek China for more loans. Second condition that China puts up is Pakistan need to repay this loan with interest rate of 4 to 6% in 10 to 15 years. And if you compare this interest rate with the World Bank, it is very much less. Globally, World Bank charges 1 to 2% of interest rate and the repayment of the loan needs to be done in 20 to 30 years. And as these countries are very weak, they get failed at the time of loan repayment and then the China take control of that project and use it for their own purpose. This is, ladies and gentlemen, China's debt trap strategy that have put Pakistan economy in a bad shape. Now let me come to the most important part of this video, and these are the lessons from the case study of Pakistan economic crisis. Lesson number 1. Never come up with policy and scheme that gives short-term pleasure rather than long-term benefit. As in the case of Pakistan, Imran Khan gave subsidy to its common people to make people please rather than actual development of the country. Lesson number 2 from the case study. Always choose your partner, allies or investors very wisely. As in the case of Pakistan, Pakistan chose to be with China, who is trying to take control of their asset by using their debt trap strategy. And lastly, in geopolitics, no country is your friend. And that's all for today, guys. I hope you like this video. Comment and share with your friends, and do let me know what you learned from this valuable case study.